may go to the jam, but they can get to it. It's just kind of a workaround. And there it is. Whoops. So if I can show you that one. There it is. So you can see it says Cave student joined. And so I'm on a Chromebook here. And if I write on here with my hands, and if I go to maybe go to the pen, and if I change it to orange, hi teacher. So he's writing on there, but you can see on mine it's coming up pretty huge, so I'd have to make it a little smaller. There we go. So my student is able to use his Chromebook from home or from wherever and write to me on my board, and I can see what he is writing to me. Using all the same tools, I can't take away tools from him, so that student is able to use all the same tools that you see here. So you could also give limited access to that student. So when I go to share with the student, let me find him again. Notice I can, well, before, maybe not, I was able to give him limited temporary access, and now it's not letting me. So when I first opened, and maybe it was because it was when I was practicing it, and now it's not showing it. So of course it would do that now. There was a way to just give temporary access, so I'm not sure why that feature went away. Maybe because I already gave him editor access earlier. I'm not sure. So I'll have to, let's see. Okay, so I picked on somebody else that I haven't given access to. So like Amanda Hill, I could give temporary access, and that person would only get comment and view only. I could even make Amanda the owner, or I could just remove Amanda completely from viewing this. So if that student is being completely obnoxious, I like, okay, you've had your 3 strikes, you're done, you're not going to get to be part of our jam session anymore. So I could remove that person completely. So I have these other options here as the teacher, and I could do that as well. So a little flexibility there, which is nice. If I run out of room, we've talked about everything we need to talk about. Maybe we're talking about a unit on bears, and we've talked, made our whole session about something here, and we're ready to move on, but I don't want to make a whole new session just to keep talking. I can click here and we can start a whole new conversation just by clicking up here. I don't have to clear the frame, so that way my other stuff is still saved, it's still there, and I can start a whole new jam without having to clear it all or erase it and get rid of everything. So I'm going to go back to our meet for just a minute because there might be some questions. And let's see. Yeah, let me go way back. Brandy, sorry, I did not see that one and I didn't hear it, so let me. Brandy, you were in there as a, I hope I got you in there now. You might have been as an editor too. All right. So what is the point of Jamboard? So Jamboard is just, a lot of teachers were asking for whiteboards, how to share, doing work while they're in their meets. And this is one way you can let students work on things with you while you're you're doing your teaching, while you're doing something up at the board, you can bring in different resources, like I said, through which I just found out is just mostly images. But if you convert some of those papers that you do have to an image or a PNG, which is possible, you can do that. You can screenshot it, save it as a PNG on your computer, and that way you can bring that in and put it up there as an image, and that would work too. But you can make it work as you could do work on there. You can let the students do the work on it, kind of like you would. I wouldn't do the whole class. This might be useful for small groups when you're working with the small groups with kids. You could definitely do it in real time, show them how to work out some problems together, things like that. And let's see, could the students enter their names for attendance? I guess, I mean, you could. It might take them a little while, especially with those kinders and typing, like writing all their names on the board, but it could be maybe fairly quick if you can just get them just maybe practicing writing their names. That would be kind of fun. Yeah, and could serve as a breakout room. You could assign like that Jamboard session, because it is just a link that you would give to students, and they could all go into that Jamboard session as a link. And so you would still be able to use Bloxy and watch them, because Bloxy is watching what they're doing on Chrome. So I guess you could have that as an option as well. Yeah. So Amanda, yeah, that's always an issue, is having all of those tabs open, especially on the Chromebooks. The more you have open, the slower it does work. You could, yeah, you could have different sessions open. You could have a few people on one jam. You can have a lot of people on one link working on the same one. It just depends on how you want to manage that. Like a while ago, I could have just shared everybody and we could all just go crazy on this one session and try it out, but I don't know how it would respond having that many people on one jam. So yes. I believe they could. I think let me see. I'm going to go to my student one and see if I could clear. So yes, so from the student one, I was able to clear out what I had put. So it isn't like, I don't know if you've used Cami, but on Cami, if they're working collaboratively, students can't clear somebody else's work. They can only clear their own. So that is one of the downfalls on that one. So yeah, it can be cleared out. And no touch screens. That is, yeah, that does make it a lot more difficult. Tiffany, that is a good question. I do not know if it has a version history. I haven't found one. All I know is it does, I guess if you were to save it periodically in your drive, and that's the only way that I know that it saves it. But I have not seen anywhere on here that shows a version history. Um, this is it. This is all that it shows here. Yeah, nothing else. Maybe you can send them some feedback. Tell them that's one of the features you want on there. And Miss Castillo, did you need the sign-in sheet? I'll send that again because I don't write down who's here. You just have to click on that link and then fill that out, and so that we know that you attended. Is there a way to assign one board per student? Hmm. Right. I know Google does listen to their people, so yes. And then yeah, Michelle, I think they could definitely send one to a student and have them work on something, just like an assignment. And they could, it would go to their Google Drive. You could have them share it back to you. That way you could see what they did on it, just like an assignment. So yes, you could assign it to one student. It depends on what you would want them to do on it. It could be um, kind of like a fun little project, I guess, virtual hyperlink sort of board. You can put pictures. I don't think it would be like a hyperlink because I don't think you actually link things, but like a poster board full of images and text and things like that. That'd be kind of neat. Yeah, maybe we all hit him up and tell him. All right. So is there anything else you want me to go back over? I can open this back up. I think up here is just the name. When you open a jam session, when you're not in a link, it's going to be in your waffle. And down here looks like this little music note sort of thing, like a J. You have the option to create new ones by going to this little plus symbol down here. You have the hamburger and you have about Jamboard. You have some Jamboard help. If you get stuck, it takes you to their support um, menu or page. And of course, their terms of service, privacy policies, things like that. Again, there's their send the feedback link. And you have some options here. I have not been able to go to not owned by me. Every time I click, it just goes to that. So I don't know if it has to be from people like within our district that people have to like have had shared with you. I'm not sure. All the ones owned by me, I have created others, but all the ones that I had in my drive, I deleted because I really didn't need them. But I assume if I do keep them, they would all show up here, or they're going to be in my drive. And you could organize them by sorting them here. You can refresh your page. You have a grid view. You can organize them that way. And you can go back to the list view, and then you can open a jam session. If you had given it a different name, so if I open it through here instead of through a Meet code, I can title it something fun. Let's say candy. And uh, let's say we want to talk about Halloween candy. So this one's going to be all about the different types of Halloween candy. So then I would I can name it that, and I can give this code to my students. And whenever that student goes to look for it, he could go over here to Jamboard and look up Candy instead of having to put in that long code. And it'd be a lot easier to find. So here you go to that little link symbol and type in Candy. Oops, open. It's still not working. Never mind. I think I still have to share it with him because it's not just letting me look it up that way. Like I thought it would. So it's not like the meet links where you could just put in that code. So that's something I'll have to play around with as well. Owned by anyone. Yep. Yeah, so I'm still not finding it through the student one. So I guess it's a little bit different. Okay. I would share it by sharing our screen. So yes, you just when you're in a meet, you just share it like I'm doing. I just go to the three dots and share my screen. If you want them to be able to actually work on it, you have to go to the share and then share it that way. So you have to go to the share and then share it with the people. But if they're already in the meet, I don't know if you were here early enough, it asks if you want them to be editors or just viewers. So I could quickly just say, yes, everyone's going to be an editor. Everyone in the meet's going to be an editor. Or I could click certain people to be the editors or not. So let me go back to my other jam session. Where did I put it? I think I closed it out. Oops, not that one. Wrong yellow symbol. So all these people, I could change this whenever this popped up. I could go in here and change everyone to editor. So when I first opened this up, it asked me if I wanted, it was on editor and I changed it to viewer instead. All right, so that is all I have to say about Google Jamboard. Unless there are any more questions or you want me to keep talking about it, I can definitely keep talking all day. So thank you for coming in, and I hope you enjoyed learning about Google Jamboard. Thank you.
Anita, I have a question.
Hi, Christina. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, okay, so I know that when I watched a YouTube video on it, there was and of course it's been a few days ago, so I can't remember. There was like a link that you could share. I don't, I'll have, you know what? Let me go back and look at it again and find that out. I just can't remember what it was called, but you could share it with the scholars to have them join. But
So
we
it's
were
going to be like yeah, you can, let me share my screen again.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
And you probably already shared it. I had to step out for a second, let my puppy out because he had surgery, so I have to watch him.
No, I think I may have that one. So
So
right
like,
down here, I can get the
okay,
link.
we
Yes.
saw, okay, so
So
we saw that
change
one.
this, and if I want them just to look at it, I'm going to leave it on viewer. But if I want them to edit, then
Yeah,
I'm
and I
going to
saw
change it to
that.
editor.
Okay. But there was it seemed like there was another way that they were showing where it would lock my work so that the kids couldn't erase my questions. They could only
Hmm.
add their own thoughts. Like they might be able to erase each other's. I'll have to, but it wasn't through the actual meeting itself. It was actually through the Jamboard through the 9, like on a new tab, I guess you could say. Let me get in there. Okay. So like,
Okay.
how did I do that the other day? So I opened a new Jamboard. Oh, that's what it was. So then when you were in the Jamboard, okay, let me add a new one. I'm just going to add a brand new one. I have to walk through it to explain it.
No, show me, because
On those 3 dots up there by our names, you could, whenever they did it, it was either, I think it was the 3 dots, and then it said something, we don't have the option. You don't have it either. I thought maybe it was because I wasn't an owner of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't an actual link. It was something different. Let me look it up again. Let me remember. Is Paula on here? Maybe she'll remember because her and I both were looking at it. Paula Bryson, are you on here? She might have left already. I don't see her. Let me get back with you on that one. It was something different. It was more like but I didn't know if it was something that we had an option to get a hold of, and it might just be something that was older. Maybe they've changed it. Maybe this is an updated way of doing it.
Possibly. Google does updates all the time, and they're constantly changing things.
So maybe that's where instead of, because it was through those 3 dots, and then you could share it. You could share it with the kiddos that way. It was like a way to share it, but that option's not on there still on this one, or on our district anyways. And it might be too, that share button up there on the top. It might already have that link that I was thinking might be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Okay. That was one of the things that we were looking at and wondering how we could lock it, because the kids just keep erasing our questions.
Yeah.
So that's just something we have to tell them. You just can't, don't erase.
Yeah. If you're going to use this, then yes. I mean, there's other things you could use, but as far as this one, yeah, it's kind of like an actual whiteboard, you in the classroom, just go up there and just erase stuff.
That's true. So we just kind of have to let them know. I mean, if you were in the classroom, okay, that's a good way to put it too. Okay. Thank you, Anita.
All righty.
Anita.
Yes, ma'am.
It's me, Terry Carrasco.
Hi.
Hi. I'm sorry I wrote in the wrong date when I signed in.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's okay.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.